Hello. Today, I want to talk about the power of acknowledgement. It's like a magic spell that can make your life so much easier, at least in my experience. It comes in many different forms and can be used in many different ways. But first, let me tell you a story. I was out for dinner recently. The restaurant was pretty full and the staff were very busy. A few groups had just left, so there were some open tables, but they hadn't been cleared yet. We watched another group come in and wait patiently for a few minutes to be sat, but no one from the restaurant went to go sit them. No one even greeted them. And it's not like they couldn't see them. They were bringing out food to tables that were close to the door, so they definitely knew they were there. After standing there for a bit, the group tried waving someone down, with no luck. And then, after waiting almost 10 minutes without any acknowledgement whatsoever, they turned and walked out. Now, they didn't leave because they thought the restaurant was full. They walked out because they had been completely ignored for 10 minutes and no longer wanted to be customers there. And that was completely understandable. I probably would have done the same thing. Why would I want to stay and eat somewhere that's already given me terrible service before I've even sat down? On the flip side, I've worked in a restaurant before. That was my first job, and I worked there for 7 years. It is overwhelmingly stressful when it's busy and you're understaffed. And if you're behind on taking orders, bringing up food, and clearing tables, new customers walking in is sometimes the last thing you want. They go right to the bottom of your priority list. You have a bunch of other, more important things that you need to do first. But the longer you go without greeting or even acknowledging those new customers, the more disrespected they'll feel. It's not like you're doing this on purpose. You're busy and you're behind and you have all these other important things to attend to. But by only focusing on all those other things, you're essentially ignoring them, even if it's not intentional. And intentional or not, people don't appreciate being ignored. By the time you do get to them, they'll probably be a little unhappy. Or they'll have left. And this is where acknowledgement comes in. Even if you can't attend to someone right away, or rather, especially if you can't attend to someone right away, a little confirmation that they're on your radar will go a long way. If someone from that restaurant had gone up to the group and said, "Hey, sorry, we're really behind. Give us a couple minutes to bring out all this food, and then we'll clear that table and sit you there," they probably would have said no problem and waited patiently for the 10 minutes. And that's the thing about acknowledgement. It doesn't do your job for you, but it does buy you some extra goodwill and patience from those that you're dealing with. If you take just a few seconds to acknowledge someone who's waiting, that can make a big difference in how they feel towards you. You're essentially telling them, "I see you and I appreciate you." And if people feel seen and appreciated, they will be much more patient and understanding than if they feel ignored. Side note, when I was writing this video, I debated whether appreciate was the right term for this. I usually think of the word appreciate in terms of value, like I value something. I value you isn't always the term that I'm looking for if I'm trying to acknowledge something or someone. However, in looking up the word appreciate, I found two definitions. One, to recognize the full worth of, and two, to understand a situation fully or recognize the full implications of. And I think both definitions here can come into play when you're acknowledging something or someone. I see you and I appreciate you. I appreciate you, or I appreciate the situation that you're in. Imagine another scenario. You have to ask someone from work to send you something. You message them, but you don't hear anything back, even though you can tell they've read your message. You follow up a few times over the next few days, but still no reply. Well, this is annoying. Yes, you can understand and appreciate that they're probably busy, but you're busy too. You have things that you need from them as well. By the end of the week, you're starting to run out of patience. And let's say they get back to you the following week, and they don't acknowledge that they've kept you waiting. They just respond to your original request. Okay. I know I wouldn't be particularly impressed by this. I wouldn't appreciate being kept waiting, and then for that to just be completely ignored as well. I'll probably remember this happening and maybe hold a slightly negative opinion of this person. Now, say they still got back to you the following week, but in their response, they apologized for having kept you waiting the previous week. Oh, okay. No worries. The fact that they acknowledged and apologized for having kept me waiting mostly mitigates any animosity I felt towards them. I'll forget about this pretty easily, and I probably won't hold a negative or positive opinion of them. It was a neutral interaction. But say they responded to your original message and said something along the lines of, "Hey, I can't do that right now, but I can send that to you next week." This little acknowledgement early on means a lot to me. Now I don't feel ignored. I'm not going to feel like I've been kept in the dark for a week. I'm still being put on hold for a bit, but at least I know why. And even though the timeline is the same, I know what to expect. And I'll probably hold a positive opinion of this person for communicating this to me. I can think of so many other situations where a little acknowledgement goes a long way. Small things with strangers, like a thank you from someone you just held the door open for, or a little wave from the driver you just let merge in front of you. But bigger things too, like some recognition from your boss for all your hard work on something, or someone who hurt you saying, "I was wrong for doing this." Acknowledgement comes in many different forms, but at its core, it usually means "I see you and I appreciate you." And it can completely change how someone feels about a situation. They can go from feeling ignored and disrespected to feeling valued and validated. At the end of the day, acknowledgement doesn't get you out of doing what needs to be done. Sometimes it'll involve going out of your way a little bit, but it can make your life so much easier by granting you extra goodwill and time from the people you're dealing with. And this will very likely come in handy later on. So, if you haven't already, consider taking the time to acknowledge people more often. If you can't prioritize them right away, let them know that you'll be prioritizing them soon. Show appreciation for things they've done. Like I said, it's like a magic spell that makes people more patient and understanding. I see you, and I appreciate you. Anyway, that's it for today. If you found this insightful, your thumbs up is appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on personal development and self-improvement. And let me know in the comments if a little acknowledgement has gone a long way for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.